All right, let's close out week 2 of the NFL preseason on a strong note. We got a Monday Night Football showdown today here with Baltimore and Washington. Welcome, guys. My name is DK. Like I said, we'll be breaking down the showdown video in this one. If you guys are new, I cover content for NBA, NFL, as well as player prop sites like PrizePicks and Underdog. The sponsor of the video is going to be OddsJam. If you guys are not familiar with OddsJam, what I have up on the screen right now is the Fantasy Optimizer. So what's great about the Fantasy Optimizer is you can use this and you don't have to know at all like what you're betting on. Like a lot of the top plays right now on the board are League of Legends, which I have no idea about, but you can go create some plus EV slips without knowing anything about League of Legends. They have one for Underdog. Again, they will have basically all the DFS sites are up here. You can filter through them. Constantly refresh, gives you the percent chance to hit. So I have a video breaking this down a little bit more in depth. If you guys want to go check that out, uploaded that a few days ago. But you can use the code DKDFS for 25% off your first month. I can guarantee you this is going to make you a better player overall. Saves me a ton of time too. There's a lot of different tools and I'm looking for different odds for stuff. So check it out, link down below. Super excited to be working with OddsJam. And if you guys are looking for premium content, you can check my Patreon link down below. So included in the DFS package, I have post all the week 1 data is up on my Patreon. So the data for tomorrow's game is up. We have snap percentage, routes, targets, carries, catches for every single player on the slate. So that's over on Patreon. Also included is the constant updates. I think I made like 100 posts today for the one game of the showdown slate. Again, just constant updates with players warming up and all that good stuff and figuring out who's active, who's inactive. But also you get videos, roster construction videos, kind of showing you how to build plus EV lineups, live stream before lock every single slate. You get content for the showdown, again, content for the main slates, player pool, again, injury updates, Discord access if you join that package. So ton of different stuff. And if you join the gold package, which is just $10 more, you get the player props, which has been absolutely amazing for us. Continues to be amazing too. We full swept the board once again today. We took where is it? So these were my player prop plays for today. PrizePicks, we took Easton Stick over passing yards and AT Perry under receiving yards. That hit. And an Underdog, we took Easton Stick over passing yards and Merriweather under fantasy points. So great day once again. And I hit, let's see, I tweeted out, I think, last night, but I hit over a 20% ROI now on all-time for me. And this is publicly tracked on Pick if you guys want to go check it out. But my all-time ROI now at 20%. This month sitting at, we're going to try to get close to 100% ROI. So yeah, it's been a great run over there on PrizePicks and Underdog. And then just recapping a couple winners from tonight. Again, these are people in the Discord. We turned what, $100 into $1,600. What was that? $17 into $355. That's a takedown. 50-cent entry turned a quarter into $50. How about that? And then again, full sweeping the board on both PrizePicks and Underdog. So great stuff. If you're interested, link down below. Okay, so that is everything. Now, before we quickly talk about the player-by-player breakdown in this video, let's recap my stuff from tonight. So, well, I didn't make a video. Apologies for not getting a video up today. But let's just quickly tilt. I don't really have the energy for it. It is literally mind-blowing stuff. You guys know it's every day, man. It is absolutely every day. And it's constantly just like what more can happen. So since I didn't make a video today, let me recap a couple things from Saturday. So I played 3 slates on Saturday. You guys know I've had an injury, at least one injury, every single slate so far that I've played in the preseason. Every single slate. Think about that. And if you guys watch my videos for the Summer League, I had about 20 injuries in less than 2 weeks. So just think about all that, and then let's think about this. What happened to me yesterday? I played 3 slates: early, main, late slate / showdown slate. Early slate, I had Devin Achane for the Dolphins, injured. Main slate, Trey Nixon, injured right away. Late slate and showdown slate, Drew Lock, injured. Name them, right? I need names. Name someone. And it was not just yesterday. You can go back and watch every single one of my preseason videos and see the events that have occurred. So just think about that, right? That's injury in every slate I played yesterday. In preseason football, I had both Patriots running backs. They were both absolutely smashing. Game canceled. Now, hopefully, I think from what I've seen, the guy that did get injured has movement in his extremities and is good. So prayers up to him. But yeah, I had both Patriots running backs. The game gets canceled. That and then an injury and it's like, and you want to tell me someone runs worse than me? You want to tell me that? Well, that was all yesterday. That's just yesterday. How do you think you DK today, right? It can't happen today too, right? No way can you get any more injuries. You have ran absolutely awful the last month and a half. There's no way. No way, right? And once again, you are wrong. Wrong. So, Patreon live stream. This was a huge edge, right? Kendra Miller was not expected to play for the Saints for most of the day. And then the Saints have great beat writers, by the way. And then we got news he's warming up and that he was going to play. So, here's what I said in the Patreon stream. Merriweather, right? Everyone was pushing because people didn't think that Miller was going to play. We didn't even know that Kirk Merritt was going to play. Thought it could have only been 2 running backs. So everyone's pushing Merriweather. So I tell everyone in the Patreon stream, all right, Merriweather is going to be extremely overowned in tournaments. Do not play him. Why play Merriweather when you can play either Kendra Miller or Kirk Merritt at a fraction? And I mean a fraction of the ownership. A literal fraction. I tweeted out the ownership here. Merriweather, 45% owned. Darrell Williams, 14%. Merritt, 6%. Kendra Miller, 4% owned. So here's what I said. I said, I love Kendra Miller and Kirk Merritt in tournaments. I absolutely love them because the fish are not going to realize that they're playing. They're just going to slam Merriweather. And you guys see what happened? Kendra Miller at 4% ownership. Absolute smash. Let's go over my main slate lineup, right? Go over this. I played Kirk Merritt. It was either him or Miller. I didn't want to play both Saints running backs with ownership. I was thinking, all right, I'm going to pick between the two. The two that I was incredibly high on for tournaments. Clicked Merritt. Injured on the first play of the game. Another injury. Yes, sir. And just the salt in the wound for me, right? The salt in the wound. Miller, the guy, it was a coin flip for me with Miller and Merritt. Merritt gets injured. Miller, absolute smash at 4% ownership. Let's look at the rest of this lineup, right? Hayner, he gets injured in his first drive of the game. Can't come in. Could have thrown a touch. Well, okay, he had multiple touchdowns called back, right? Hayner had multiple touchdowns called back. Then had to leave the game for a little bit due to concussion protocol. He did return. Max Duggan. Is it Duggan? Duggan, actually. It's random DNP. Now, here's the thing. Every site had it split one half for each of the Chargers quarterbacks. Now, what I said was what I saw from the beat writers was it's going to be a big game here for the second unit for the Chargers. So I was like, okay, I think you might get a little bit over a half for Easton Stick. I said, all right, I think he could play like 2.5 quarters. Plays the entire game. Random DNP for Duggan. Then you get the Kirk Merritt injury, right? How about Hightower? No ownership, plays almost the entire game. Has like, literally, go look at the stats. Has like 27 targets. 1 catch. 1 catch, right? Okay. Jontre Kirkland at literal negative ownership, right? That is not an over-exaggeration. Look at that ownership. That is negative ownership. 3% ownership. Jontre Kirkland, watching the game, wide open, catches a touchdown. I'm like, yes, let's go. Let's go. Laundry on the field. You better believe that's coming back. So that's just the main slate here, right? Now, we covered all the stuff yesterday. Injury every single slate. Had both Patriots running backs. Game canceled. Today, extremely high in Merritt and Miller. My two just stands and GPPs. Pick between the two. I pick the one that gets injured. The other one absolutely nukes the slate. Dugan, random DNP. Hightower, 55 targets, 1 catch at low ownership. And then Kirkland at negative ownership, touchdown called back. Right? Right? Now you think, all right, that has to be it, right? Right? That has to be it. No way there was anything else. Let's check out my second half showdown lineup here. 16th place in the big tournament. Look at it, right? Look at it. I nail everything, right? Well, okay. Hayner, right? Merriweather, right? Obviously, he's going to play a fair amount in the second half. Davis, low ownership. Tackled at the 1, right? Tackled at the 1. And then Jontre Kirkland. Nail everything. Put Max Duggan in the captain, who I'm thinking minimum, a quarter and a half. Might play the whole second half. DNP for my captain. A DNP. If he just plays, if he just takes the field, I win like $2,000, right? Look at it. Look at this. Look at it. Names. I'm waiting. I am waiting for someone to name someone and then provide me the proof that they think that someone runs worse than me. Name them, right? Look at everything that just happened tonight. And yesterday, and I've had an injury every slate of the preseason, about 20 injuries in the summer league. Name them. Name them. So, yeah, again, on this channel, we always recap, and it's just the main point of this channel really is to provide you guys proof every single day. There's not one human on planet Earth that runs worse than me, right? And I had this line. If I would have got first place, I would have won about $2,000, right? I would have got the top 10 in prizes here. So what is that? Oh, let's see the contest details. So 1,000, 300, 200. That's 1,500. Yeah, it would have been about like $2,000. I would have won. If he just plays, just takes the field for my captain, I won about $2,000. Random DNP. All right, that's the recap of everything. Again, it's locked, etched in stone. It's just every day with this channel. Incredible stuff, man. Incredible. All right, let's talk about the slate now. Baltimore, Washington. So what do we know? Baltimore. Here we go. Josh Johnson, Anthony Brown. We just play half. And doesn't look like the starters will play. This is a Monday night game too, so a little bit of shorter schedule. It's, I think, even shorter for Washington, I want to say, who plays on Saturday. One of these teams play on Saturday. It's either Washington or the Ravens. I forget. I have to look at the schedule. But that's kind of what I'm expecting, or that's what I am expecting, is Johnson a half, Brown a half. And then I don't think we see a lot of these starters. So we can go over some snap counts here for Baltimore. Well, first of all, okay, so the defense, obviously great play on both sides. Tucker's a great play because he's the only kicker on the roster. And then with Lamar and Huntley both out, you're going to get half a football each for Johnson and Brown. They're both good plays. I prefer Brown to Johnson. He's way more mobile. But yeah, both are pretty safe plays. And then, all right, so running backs. Both teams played a lot of running backs last week. Baltimore played 5 running backs. Washington played 6, which is pretty disgusting. Now, with Baltimore, okay, so here's what I'm thinking, right? They have, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 running backs in the roster. Mason, Ricard are fullbacks, right? So we're not going to, or I would be shocked if we see Dobbins. I don't know if we see much of Gus Edwards or Justice Hill, right? Those are kind of like the top 3 pretty clear pecking order there for Baltimore. Now, Hill and Edwards did play a little bit last game. I'm not sure if they'll play in this game. So that's pretty important. If they do play and 5 running backs play, no one really would stand out. I think my favorite play would be the rookie, Keaton Mitchell, who I had last slate. 40-yard touchdown called back. You bet. You bet. So he'd probably be my favorite. If they do end up sitting a couple guys, but yeah, if all 5 play, it would be tough. If they do sit a couple guys, then the few that would play would be good options. Again, Mitchell. I'm pretty sure Mitchell, Wright, and Gordon will play no matter what. Edwards and Hill, I'm not sure if they will. If they do, I don't know if they play a ton. Looking at the wide receivers here for Baltimore. So they played a lot of guys. They played last week 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 guys. There's 2 that played about half the game. That was Prochet and Sean Ryan. Prochet 23 routes, Sean Ryan 19 routes. Sean Ryan in the big game 4 catches on 7 targets. So the Ravens, here's the thing. I don't think we see OBJ. I don't think we see Bateman. I don't think we see Aguilar. I don't know if we see much of Duvernay, Flowers as well. They started last game, played a little bit, but since it's Monday night game, short schedule, I don't know if we see a ton of them. So if I'm going to play guys on the Ravens, I think it's getting more of these back-end guys, right? So we mentioned Prochet. We mentioned Sean Ryan. I think, Treadwell, Stein, Bridges, Tariq Black. A lot of these guys, just kind of the back-end wide receivers, are mainly where I'm looking to for Baltimore. And we'll also keep an eye on Prochet News, who is a little bit banged up too. So again, I'll be posting all these updates on Patreon for guys that are in versus out. But yeah, that's Baltimore wide receivers. And then the tight ends, so they only played 3 last week. The Baltimore Ravens did. And I don't think we see Mark Andrews. We'll see about Isaiah Likely. He got a little bit banged up last game. And then never returned. So if he's out, I think you could see a fair amount of Kolar and Travis Volkolik. Volkolik played a bit more, 45% of snaps, but Kolar ran more routes. He's the better pass catcher. So I think Kolar would be, if I was going to play tight end in this slate, I think it probably would be him. Again, we'll keep an eye on the Likely news. If Likely does play, you can take a shot on him. He was able to practice Thursday, so we'll see if he's going to be available. So that's it for Baltimore. Let's move on to Washington. Washington, I couldn't really find anything definitive on their preseason. I was looking through Twitter. Sam Howell was named the starter for the regular season, but don't know if he's going to play in this game. I mean, there's people speculating that maybe he plays a quarter or so, but there's nothing definitive right now for Washington. So we should get that news tomorrow. Now, if we take a look at what happened last week for quarterbacks for Washington, it was basically a split. 34% of snaps for Howell, 30% for Fromm, 36% for Jacoby Brissett. So if they all 3 split again, I think my favorite would be Sam Howell, who is mobile. But if Sam Howell does not play and you get a half from Brissett and a half from Fromm, I think both would be solid options. I think I would prefer Brissett. I think he's just the better quarterback of the 2. So I would lean Brissett over Fromm if I had to pick between the Washington quarterbacks if Sam Howell does not play. If Howell plays and 3 quarterbacks are in, then probably a stay away situation for me for Washington. All right, now for the kickers for Washington, so they plan to release Badgley. So assuming he's not on the team, then Joey Sly would be a safe play, and he'd be the only kicker for the game tomorrow. Running backs was very disgusting last week. One of the grossest situations I've seen so far in the preseason. 6 running backs played. Ooh, that is really, really gross. Rodriguez, 20% snaps. Gibson, 23%. Patterson, 13%. Robinson, 18%. Gore, 25%. Jonathan Williams played 2%. He played 1 snap. Not good. Not good. But I'm kind of speculating you don't see a lot of these Washington starters. But I don't think we see much from Robinson. I don't think we see much from Antonio Gibson. So my guess is that maybe only 4 play. Maybe it's just Gore, Patterson, Williams, and Rodriguez. If that would be the case, then Rodriguez would be my favorite option here, the rookie running back who has impressed so far in camp. He'd be my favorite option. If all 6 play, I still think, again, he'd be my favorite, but I would most likely stay away from the situation if 6 running backs do play for Washington. Let's take a look at the wide receivers for Washington. So also not great last game. So they played 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. They played 12 wide receivers. Yuck, yuck, yuck. Now, I'm kind of speculating we don't see a lot of these main guys. Again, that's not definitive, right? Because I said I would look for news. I couldn't really find anything, but I don't think we see a lot of the top end guys. I don't think we see McLaurin. I don't think we see Dotson. I don't think we see Curtis Samuel. I don't think we see De'Ami Brown. May or may not see Byron Pringle. So if I'm going to play these Washington wide receivers, unless we hear news that the starters are going to play a lot, which I guess it's possible, but I'm kind of speculating we don't see a lot of them. I'm looking to, again, more of these back-end Washington wide receivers. So, I mean, last week, it was actually a lot of the main guys that played the most. You saw 31% for McLaurin, 31% for Brown, 34% for Dotson. Maybe they were thinking, okay, it's a short week next week, so they're going to have the starters more run in week 1 and not play them in week 2. But I think I would look to, a lot of these younger guys for Washington, these rookies. Tremaine, Tinsley, he's been making some good plays in camp. Allen, Bowers. But again, just a lot of these back-end wide receivers are probably where I'm looking most for Washington, unless we hear otherwise, right? Unless we get news that the starter's going to play more or the starter's going to play like a half or something. I'm looking to a lot of those young guys in the back end of the depth chart. Tight ends for Washington. So last week, they did play 4 guys. I just played the most 39% of the snaps, but Turner ran the most routes, 14 routes, had 4 catches on 4 targets. So I think Turner would be the guy that I'd look to here if I'm going to play a tight end on the Washington side. I think he's a decent option. He's their rookie, or 2022 for 5th round pick. Yeah, he's been solid in camp. And again, he had ran a lot of routes last week. So I think Turner would be the tight end I would play if I did have to play a tight end on the showdown. Or for Washington. I think Turner and Kolar, we'll keep an eye on the likely news. If Likely's out, I actually think you can consider Kolar and then Turner on the opposite side. So most of the time I kind of cross off the tight ends in the showdown, but I think those guys would actually be playable in GPPs. All right, guys, that's going to do it for the video. We had about at least half the video tilt and the other half the breakdown. As always, appreciate you guys for watching. Hope you guys did enjoy. Good luck tomorrow, and we'll see you all in the next video.